I'm the only one left at this point. You guys are just not going to say anything, are you? This is the longest I've talked without hearing anybody else's voice. I normally just get interrupted immediately, right? That's how it goes. So
that's a complete lie.
The thing is, Hamish, like, I could genuinely. I see the joke, but I could genuinely just keep going. I could probably talk for an hour.
I have no doubt that you could.
Your training in how to get your point across in online meetings is kicked into full effect. I would like to say sorry, public apology, that the person that identified the audio issue, to which I genuinely thought straight up, Trip screwed this up. Because I have uploaded the audio to the drive, and then Trip went, "You haven't uploaded the audio," and I said, "I 100% did, and I did upload the audio, just not in the shared file." So I didn't retract my comment to say it was Trip's fault. So I want to make a public apology.
If we accidentally did it again, but with this bit at the start, and it just took even longer for people to realize what happened.
Oh my gosh! Should we?
How many years? Over 3 years.
Over 3 years.
I know. Who'd have thought?
Who'd have thought? So, shall we kick off with the sponsorships and
I think you should.
And the Wheel of Time. Wheel of Time, Trip.
Oh, we're gonna get straight in with the Wheel of Time. Can I get my Wheel of Time? Oh. We're gonna... And the winner.
I was gonna go boom.
Is Richard Carr.
Hey! Well, there you go, Richard. You spoke to me on Saturday. We spun a wheel, and lo and behold, your name just popped up.
Yeah, I think Richard has been quite a long time waiting. We still got a couple of people who've been long-term patrons who still haven't won. So we'll get there eventually.
Every time the Wheel of Time.
Yeah.
It
is. You'll be in an endless loop of never receiving a win. Here we go. We've actually found a reason why we call it the Wheel of Time after all of this time. What do they win, Simon?
So, Hamish.
Oh, wait, whoa.
Whoa.
What do they win, Simon?
Have we agreed?
What do they win, Simon?
Yeah, we have.
Oh, good.
So, for the next couple of winners, they will be getting 3 packs of Everfest and 3 packs of Crucible of War Unlimited.
Ooh.
Oh, that's actually really good because
that is actually. I think that's a really
good bundle. Probably talk about at some point. We got a new set coming out. Everfest has some pretty spicy cards for the old room play. So.
Very much so. Well, there you go, Richard Carr. You have the Bright Light season. I don't think we have managed to go through the boxes. We're going to put that on hold for a bit because something new and exciting will come out for Mechanology at some point. And these cards, this set will become pretty cool again. So we'll put it on pause.
We've been doing Bright Lights for ages.
Oh God, it felt like forever.
We'll spin it into some new sets.
I feel like I should just say actually, watching Mara Faris go 7-1 at US Nats on Dash.io was pretty interesting. I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, well, there's some. We'll
talk more about Nats later on. Hamish, can you just tell us about the channel sponsors, please?
Oh, sure thing. So, I'm trying to remember how I've actually started this off. So
we've messed up the system, haven't we? So normally it'd be like
there's this Scottish single seller store.
Oh, okay. So our partners, we're gonna.
There's some store.
Yeah, we've got some. Well, it's actually going to be I think it's a store now.
They had their first brick and mortar opening.
Yeah.
First Fab TCG Armory or whatever, I think.
Yeah.
Recently. Congratulations, Andrew.
Yeah, so that's Thistle Tavern, a Scottish shingle seller from the Aberdeens in Scotland, who does lots of singles for all what?
The Aberdeens.
The Aberdeens.
Oh, why not?
Yeah, the Aberdeens, plural.
They're from Aberdeen, Scotland. And they do lots of singles from lots of different games, from Star Wars Unlimited, Lorcana, One Piece, and, of course, Flesh and Blood. If you are a patron, you get 10% off on all your online orders. Not only that, we also have Metal Fab Tokens, who is a awesome tokens partner who do, again, all those get different TCGs, as well as Flesh and Blood. I have a load of their stuff in the UK to ship it out to anyone in the UK and Europe for Royal Mail prices. And we've also got PCG, our grader. Trip, do the bit.
Wait, how much does it cost to be a push the point No, wait, don't you say how much does it cost?
No, you say that.
How much does it cost to be a Push the Point patron, Hamish?
It's free.
What? £3?
No, Trip, it's free because...
that was awful.
No, that was
normally
good.
Much better than that. Was that better?
That was better because normally...
What?
Normally
What?
Normally I actually say the number 3, which is also
3?
wrong. Yeah, 3. Anyway,
so what, £3?
No, no, it's free because if you're a Push the Point patron, you get a voucher from PCG. You get one once a quarter, and you can use that to for your submissions. So in short, if you're a £3 patron, you can get £9 voucher for your
every 3 months. Right?
Every 3 months, basically. But it has a cap of £15. So if you're a patron and you want to grade, it's free. And you get all the other benefits, plus you support us, plus you get your Wheel of Time 6-packs. I don't know why you're not a patron. Seriously, seriously, I do not understand if you're not a patron and you're in the UK. You're literally getting deals.
Yeah, buy yourself something for Thistle. You're going to make most of your money back, if not more than your money back, almost immediately.
Absolutely.
And then you got the chance for packs. And if you've ever wanted to grade a card, why not? Just get your money that you give to Push the Point back as a voucher anyway. So it's a real no-brainer, guys.
It really is.
And you get to join the Discord. We have some fun chats and we talk about what's going on in Flesh and Blood, and it's pretty casual. It's pretty chill. So yeah,
we have some top players in our patronship now as well. So everyone's really helpful for deck ideas and all sorts. So it's
and
a great
we're there
community.
as well. So
I want to say thank you to all of our patrons, but we have had a bit of a rush of new patrons in the last month or so. It's been really good to see people joining in and getting stuck in on the Discord as well.
Yeah, it's been good.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Cool.
Wait, we're doing drinks?
Yeah, we're doing drinks. We're doing drinks.
Hamish, what are you drinking?
Well, Simon, before we go any further, I hope you use your mic sounds different on YouTube.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it does a bit. So while Simon is going to look into that,
I quite like it.
I am going to look into that.
So
while old school,
while Simon is looking into it, I'm going to tell you that I have got a Hawkston's Lager. Do you know what that is? It's Jeremy Clarkson.
It's Jeremy from Diddley Squat Farm.
What? It's from Jimmy Clarkson's farm?
It's from Jimmy Clarkson. Yeah, his cousin. Jeremy Clarkson. Or did they call him Jimmy Clarkson?
Did you go to the farm?
No, you can't actually get it on the farm. It was a birthday present because it was my birthday. It was my birthday.
Happy birthday, Hamish. Between on
the 5th of June. So yeah, they ordered it. You can order it online. So I actually have had one, so I do know what it tastes like. But I'll crack one open. I'll pretend I haven't. What about you, Simon?
Lovely.
Oh, yeah, no. I wonder if his mic's sorted out.
Right.
Yes, that's so much better.
How much better, Simon?
Apologise.
There we go. Just turn yourself up a bit.
Were you talking through your Bluetooth one?
I think it had defaulted to my Bluetooth.
There we go.
A classic.
You
sound smooth as silk.
Yeah, you sound smooth. So, Simon, what are you drinking?
Good job I didn't talk much. Well, I'm drinking because I'm on call again.
Oh. What would you have drunk?
So I would have drunk, weirdly, a Hawkstone IPA.
At
the weekend.
Is that a Jimmy Clarkson's?
Yeah. Oh. My friend happened to be down near Diddley Squat Farm, and he picked me up an IPA. It was actually really tasty. So what I have today is Ridge Valley's finest limonata lemonade style drink.
That's Aldi special, isn't it?
Aldi special, and actually it's really tasty.
Oh, very good, very good. And to top it off, stick on trip. What are you drinking?
So I didn't have any beer, and I couldn't really be bothered to go out and buy one. So I'm actually drinking whiskey. This Chever's blended Scotch whiskey,
oh my God,
which was a gift from our neighbour. So thank you, thank you to our neighbour. No, I've got it on ice. I've actually pre-poured it. It's
lovely.
Here. But I had a glass the other night, and I did enjoy it quite a lot. I haven't drunk whiskey in a while, and it's okay. It's not like a proper Scotch.
Do you remember when I did? Do you remember when I did episode 2?
Was that the one where you were really drunk?
Really drunk.
Yeah.
And I bought some JD and JD honey.
Oh, it's the JD honey.
JD honey.
There was one episode where I felt like you were gonna collapse during the episode.
I have to say,
the Christmas special where it went on forever when we had Shin on. God, you guys were posted that one. I remember that.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, cheers, guys. Happy episode.
Cheers, everyone.
Happy US Nats.
Cheers.
I think it was a good one, actually.
It was a good one. It was a good one. So should we? Well, I want to go for a quick home news, and it probably won't happen, but we'll try and keep it tight. Right. Simon, home news.
I went to the Foo Fighters on Saturday.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah, I went up to Manchester to see the Foo Fighters. You've got me worried now that Audible's picking up my headset rather than my mic. Doesn't really matter.
It'll be fine.
Went to see the Foo Fighters. Now, they were at the cricket ground in Manchester, Old Trafford cricket ground. They played a headline set that was 3 hours long. It was amazing.
Get your money's worth. That's great.
They played a selection from absolutely everything. Yeah. So if anyone's been to the Manchester dates, or is anyone going to Glasgow, London, any of the other European dates, they are phenomenal. I've seen them before, but yeah, very happy. The support acts, a Welsh band called Chroma, they were very. And Courtney Barnett. I don't know if anyone's heard of Courtney Barnett. She's an Aussie lady who I really like her stuff. Apple Music recommended it a while ago, and I've been listening along. So, yeah, happy days.
Very good. It doesn't sound like it's something I'll be into, would it be, Simon?
What did you get up to this weekend, Hamish?
Oh, I went to Download.
Hey.
Download Festival. Yeah. It's a rock and metal festival. It's the biggest one in the UK. Yeah, I only went for the day, though. I only went on Sunday. Headlining was Avenged Sevenfold, which I was like, ugh, I ain't bothered about them. But Limp Bizkit, Sum 41. Bowling for
sick.
Bowling for Soup.
Sum 41.
Soup.
Yeah.
Hey, I'd be up for that. That sounds like I would have enjoyed that.
Yeah. Well, it was. Yeah, and then some other real cool metal bands. If you're into Flesh and Blood and you're listening, you like metal. If you know Black Dahlia Murder, if you know Brand of Sacrifice, if you know Crystal Lake.
I swear that Venn diagram. It's pretty close. People that like Flesh and Blood and people that like metal. It feels like that on Twitter. Yeah. Maybe people that like Rune Blade and people that like metal seems like a pretty much a circle. Pretty sick.
We do get a lot of people actually say they like our spoilers, because if you have seen one of our spoilers, you probably know that I've had a bit of an influence in the music choice, because
YouTube hasn't shut us down yet, so we managed to get away with it.
That's why we just don't pick like Stormzy or whatever.
We are so gonna have Stormzy and epic spoiler.
Actually, very close trying to find Stormzy when we tried to do one of your intro.
We get a lightning spoiler. Well, we'll talk about spoilers. We not get a spoiler for a reason.
Oh, you never know. Anyway, so yeah, I went to that. It was incredibly muddy. Had an amazing time, and I suppose it's been my birthday. That's about it, really. Between that,
hey,
35. What about you, Trip?
Yeah, it's been good. I went to see my parents on Saturday. Did a little pre-Father's Day lunch with my parents at the Canterbury Wetherspoons. Classy joint. Had a nice fish and chips. Fish and chips at Wetherspoons, actually pretty decent. So and good beer. They had a really nice dark beer called, I think it was actually called Dark Star, which is a pretty sick name for a beer as well. And it was good.
Sounds like a band.
That was pretty nice. Yeah, it's a character from Game of Thrones as well, which is pretty interesting if you like Game of Thrones. And
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, it's in the books.
Oh, so I thought I did think that. It sounds like a book.
Yeah, I should say it's Song of Ice and Fire, not Game of Thrones. Sunday watched the football. That was awful.
Why was it? No, hang on. I'm not going to detract this too much. I obviously missed it because I was at Download, but why was everyone told me it was rubbish, but we won. What?
It was a tale of two halves, right? The first half, England looked like a decent team, and Jude Bellingham looked like a player who knew what he was doing. And in the second half, they just couldn't do anything.
It wasn't even the whole first half. It was 1-0 in the end to England, but it wasn't even like, it was like a good first like 25 minutes.
Yeah,
and they just sat back, and it was just like, they do this every time. You're just like, when you've got so much talent and they just sit back and defend, it's just like, anyway. But I think it's first game nerds because England are like I have heard a statistic they were on the commentary that England have won. Ignoring this game, they've only won their first game of a major tournament 1 out of 10 games. They've either drawn or lost, and I was like, "Damn, that's bad."
That is bad.
And out of Euros and Worlds, when I was thinking back, I was like, "Yeah, we normally do mess up that first game."
Yeah.
So maybe they were just playing a bit timid because they got but it wasn't a great sign.
Well, that's not good. We gotta if we win 1 out of 10 games and we won that game, what's gonna happen to the rest of the games?
Well, the other games were fine. It's just that first game of the tournament. It's like round one. We're very much a submarine team, except we don't actually win the tournament. We're like a submarine then bubble team. That's how I describe
that's true.
England football.
I have to say the Thistle Tavern. The Thistle Tavern guys must be absolutely over the moon.
Oh, they got battered, didn't they?
Yeah, they got absolutely annihilated by the Germans.
Yeah, and that guy that got sent off.
English.
That guy who got sent off for that 2-foot tackle has been banned for not banned, but like he's out for 2 games. So it's basically his tournament over. So unless they make it out of the group stage.
I don't know. I literally put that game on. I went and made it. Literally turned away, went and got a drink. Come back, it was 2-0. What the hell? Okay.
I stopped watching after the red card. I was just like, okay, there's no game. Anyway, we don't normally talk about football.
That's true. That's true. Although I did see a Scottish player say that he tweeted out when the Germans beat Brazil 7-1. He said, "Well, we're better than Brazil."
Yeah, that's the spirit. That's the spirit.
I saw the meme that was like Rudiger is now Scotland's top tournament scorer. In the last 25 years, yeah. So, moving on from home news, because we've managed to keep it pretty tight. Gentlemen, would you like to talk about spoilers first or US Nats first?
US Nats first, then.
Let's do US Nats, yeah.
Yeah, and then we'll round this off with spoilers.
How good is it just watching Flush and Wild on your TV or your phone over the weekend? Yeah, it's so much fun.
It's stunning. But also,
love it.
A big shout out to Ethan and the Savage Feats for putting on a great show. Like the quality of production for that was fantastic.
Yeah, so professional. Yeah, it's so professional. The zoom ins on the cars, the zoom ins on the hands. It feels like an actual professional production. I always used to enjoy watching Fab.
Yeah,
and it felt very like homespun kind of, and it was good. Don't get me wrong. It was still great, but now it's getting to another level. You can see the professionalism starting to get in terms of the quality of the production, the quality of the commentating, and the quality of especially the visuals. Really, really good. I'm super impressed. It felt like watching an actual.
It was a full package.
It's getting to the point where, like, you don't need to say it's good because because it's like, well, of course it's. Like, I mean, you don't look at the foot, like, not too much on the football. You don't watch the football and go, well, the production was good and the camera's good. You're like, well, of course it is. It's standard at this point, and that's amazing. Actually, that's a testament to Ethan's skill.
It brings so many people into the game, doesn't it? When you know there's going to be live stream tournaments that you can watch. It's like that's what I would want to do before I getting into Fab, is to watch one of these big tournaments, see what it's like at the most professional level. I think it's really good, like, advertisement for the game, and even the draft. They're finding ways to like make the draft as exciting as possible.
Spice it up.
And we've casted drafts, and it can be quite like the downtime is quite tricky. Yeah, go ahead.
Having the backup games though, like the number of games,
the backup games save this whole thing.
Absolutely, like there's hardly any major downtime now. Like, you can go from game to game to interview to game to draft. Like, it just felt like a full weekend. And if I wanted to go back and check out a game, it was easily sectioned up. I could go, like, chaptered out, and I could go back and find where things were afterwards. Nicely done, gents. It was really good.
Very good. Very good. Now let's talk about the tournament itself.
The games.
Yeah, so we'll just start this off by saying that the winner, Zen. Well, I couldn't remember the guy's name, but you were chatting him in the
Evan Herndon.
That's it. It came second last year.
Runner up to Charles Dunn on Briar last year.
Yeah, now he's took it away with Zen. That's amazing. Yeah. I mean, 3 Zens in the top 8. Now, I know that we're going to precursor this. I know this is going to be on the tip of Trip's tongue, right? That people will go, see, you're going to say, Trip, draft.
it happens all the time.
Every year, don't we? Every year.
Nationals, without a doubt, is people watch the first Nationals, whether that's UK Nationals, whether it's the American Nationals, whoever gets their one up first, and they see a bunch of heroes in the top 8 and they say, that hero's broken, needs to be banned or needs to be nerfed or something. And it's like, they just forget that 6 rounds of that tournament is a completely different format.
Yeah.
And it's the class. And I think it was you that said it, Hamish. It's the calling, which is what you want to watch. And obviously, a lot of the best players are going to be playing in the Nats Day 2. But the callings is what shows, okay, what's the actual CC meta looking like? And that had a very different looking top 8 completely. We will talk about that in a second.
It's a weird thing. No, but it's a weird thing though whenever you get these like multi-mix formats, because like when it comes to Pro Tours and Worlds and uniquely the US Nationals, you get the argument is you're there to go for the main event, Pro Tour, Worlds, US Nationals. You got multiple different formats in it, and then whoever is in the top 8 of that, it kind of then goes, oh, you know, look how good these CC heroes are. Like you said, draft makes a portion of it. So we look at the calling. And then the alternate argument of the calling is, well, all the best players were playing in X event, so you can't count this one. And you're like, what? Like, okay, fair enough. There's points there. So the only thing we can look at is a calling dedicated to CC only. Is that the truest form?
It's probably Pro Tour Amsterdam when we're going to actually see it. And I think
no, but that's a multi-mix format.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind then.
Yeah, like
all of the tier.
What happened to all CC events?
Well,
we used to have those.
Well, the last one. Well, there have been some, but the last one, really, I suppose, is calling Warsaw, which was an all CC calling. Yeah. Everyone is going there just to do the CC, and that did kind of round off the meta. That, do you know what I mean? Everyone brought their decks.
So the counter argument is you can't get to the top 8 in a mixed format event without being good at CC.
No, of course. Right? Yeah, 100%.
So in the US Nats, they had 8 rounds of CC, of which Evan lost 0. Like, he went undefeated. Sorry, he won all 11 because he won his top 8 3 matches as well. But he went 11-0 on Zen yesterday.
Yeah, no, 100%. I guess, but when you see Bolt and Hatchets in like the last, like, and he's like 9, or I don't know, like 9-3 or 9-2, that to me is like, well, the guy did just 6-0 draft. Like, do you know what I mean? Because you wouldn't look at Bolt and Hatchets and go, well, this is going to win 14 rounds of CC against everyone.
But again, like, Mara Faris, we mentioned her earlier, she went 7-1 on Dash.io.
Yeah, but that's also
draft. And then she lost 4 drafts.
Oh, yeah, right.
I think
she went 2 and 4 in draft.
Okay, yeah. So what we're saying is, in a roundabout way, Zen won. A lot of people are talking about how busted Zen is, but is he that busted because? Actually, when you looked at the CC format, which you've got to actually take into consideration, I know some top players were in the day 2 of Nats, but these are also great players also playing in the CC meta. Is Zen really commanding this meta as much as people think he's commanding the meta? And I think the answer is, from your point, Simon, from looking at Dash.io and all these other stuff,
I think there are some great options out there. I think there are some great options. I don't think anyone should be calling for a Zen ban. I don't think anyone needs to overreact.
Ridiculous.
Well, they're not calling for a Zen ban. I know, but they're calling for like banning Art of War, banning Ancestral Harmony.
Also, as well, we've got to be very mindful of our own sort of chamber, like our own little echo chamber that we all sit in. That absolutely, we do sit. We hear the same sort of names bring up the same sort of cards. No bans, Jesus Christ.
I think the Art of War argument is a funny one because that card has been in there since the second set in the game. We've had shadow heroes that can play the card you banish.
We won't call him for a ban for our... Well, actually, we were calling an Art of War ban. That was a legit, like, Yeah, this is nuts in chain.
But it wasn't banned, so I don't think it's going.
If
anyway,
it wasn't banned with Phi, Jesus Christ, like
it's beside the point. I think there are many options out there. There was KO, there was Azalea, there was Zen, there was Enigma. There were who else do we have in the top? Prism was in the top.
Yeah, there was two. I think
cut.
2 Enigmas or 1 Prism, Enigma, 3 Zens, KO, Azalea.
I just think it's an awesome meta at the moment. I think there are so many options to play.
The thing I don't like about it is the whole conversation is the focus that people put on the heroes and not on the players. Like so much the conversation is about, oh, this hero is too powerful or this hero is too weak. And yet time and time again in Flesh and Blood, we see the best players rise to the top, piloting different heroes, piloting off-meta heroes. This isn't to say that there isn't a best deck and format. There's always going to be a best deck and format. But I think we give too much sometimes to the best deck and format and too little to the quality of some of the players of this game to pilot a hero that's not necessarily the best deck, but they are so good at the game and they're so good at tournament play. They're so good. They have great resilience. They have great mental game for these 2-day, 3-day tournaments. Like you could, like I played the winning deck of the first UK National Championships and the second UK National Championships. But I wasn't going to win those tournaments because it doesn't matter if you're playing the best deck in the format if you don't have the skills, the mental resilience, the tournament.
No, Trip, that was draft that let you down.
And draft luck. Well, actually, I had
skills.
Your CC deck was pretty fine.
I actually did okay in the draft, but I just 2-1'd everything, you know. So I 2-1 the CC, 2-1 the draft, 2-1 the draft. I beat you in the draft, so I don't need to talk about it.
No, I threw it. You didn't beat me.
I won. That's what I'm talking about, Hamish. Mental game. That's all. What it's all about. Your mental game wasn't good enough. My mental game was too strong, and that's Flesh and Blood.
You definitely played the hardest hero in the set.
I was playing. I play what's good, yo.
Yeah. No. You won. Anyway, so.
I just think talk about the players more. I think be nice. Like,
on that note, can I just say. I don't know what people have been testing. I'm not in a testing group. I don't know what Zen has been throwing out. But watching Evan lay down double Zephyr Needle in the Zen Mirror semi-final blew my mind. I was like, and then to see the other Zen not block any of them, those Zephyr Needles did nearly 30% of his life total's damage. Over a game. I was just like, that is not something I would have thought of doing.
I think realistically, when you look at like when KO got hit, like has KO really had anything banned? I know Berserk got banned, but that was like future proofing some wildness that would have came with his Armory deck. But I think the days now of what Tales of Aria, Monarch, and Everfest brought to the table, the amount of bans and stuff that we got regularly through Tales of Aria, I think they're very confident that, look, we don't really need to ban or suspend anything at this point. Like, these guys are good, but let's not kid ourselves. These guys are nothing like the stuff that they made prior. Like, Zen wouldn't last a second compared to what Chain and Briar was throwing out. Like, those stuff were just wild.
Or in an ice meta, or in an Oldhim React meta, like
a Prism, original Prism with all that. There's no way. So you kind of look at, and I know it's like, yes, but that's then, and we look at the stuff now, and in short, just I suppose in my summary, there's so much left to explore. Like he is coming out on top. No one's denying that. But there's so much left to explore on how to work around him. And then he will adapt. And by the time we get to a point where we're feeling kind of happy,
there's a new set.
Yeah.
On the flip side, Ninja does have some bonkers stuff. Like, I don't want people to come away from this conversation and be like, there's some stuff in Zen that is insane.
There's two big Ninja there's two big Ninja fans here, not big Ninja players.
Like, I remember when they announced Bonds, and I just said, well, that's a 0 for 8. They've just given Ninja a 0 for 8 over 2 cards, over 2 attacks. And it's just like, that's absolutely insane. In a hero that wants to go wide, they give them a 0, basically a 1 card that reads 0 for 4, 0 for 4. It's even better than that because of the stuff you can do with it. And it's like, Ninja's just going to be good. They've got access to bonds and whelming. It's going to be good because they're always going to have fetch stuff because they love giving Ninja fetch stuff. And it is really strong. I don't want them to take that away from the class.
Should
classes should have great cards.
Should bonds been a majestic?
No, I don't think so. I genuinely don't. I think it's fine as it is. But I think that's what Ninja is, right? And that's we've talked about this a lot on Push the Point. Is like that's the aggressive deck. That's the proactive deck. And we're in a meta at the moment with a lot less disruption than we used to have because Guardian can't really get into play because News out there destroying, like the disruptive Guardian.
Actually, I think the argument being a lot of the time now is Guardian is the reason Guardian's not showing up is not because of Enigma. The Guardian's not even showing up because the thing that you expect him to do well against, he's like Zen still slaps Guardian about.
But then we'll get a new Guardian at some point, and we'll get a new Ice hero at some point, and LSS will continue to push cards out, push decks out, and I think it's really exciting. I think that I think that it's way too early as well. Like, one weekend of nationals, I think, and it didn't even Let's talk a little bit about the calling, I guess, and the top 8 for the calling. We saw 1 Zen and 3 Kano. I mean, Kano was one of those decks that I really expect to show up. I think I said that I expected Kano to win UK nationals, and I still think that's a possibility. And I think we saw Kano show up at the calling, didn't actually win it in the end. It was Azalea, and Azalea is still around. Azalea is doing great disruptive work against Zen.
Kano did win the Battle Harden, didn't it?
Yeah, I think. So Kano's out there doing work, right? All I know is that Ira won the Commoner, so
that's all that
matters. Good job, Ira. Still going strong.
Well, Kano's Kano, isn't he? Kano's Kano. There's not. He's at that point where he's not. What is? There's no one that's like super hard. Well, Prism, I guess, but he just does his thing. And they're looking at what he does, and they're not banning him, and that's been going on since what, Everfest. When Wildfire came out.
I think they just want Kano to naturally living legend out of the game, but still hasn't happened yet. So who knows? But
I don't think Zen will win UK Nats.
I think Zen's got a really high chance of winning.
I think he's going to get in the final. But I don't think he'll win it.
Whatever hero I play will win, but I won't win. That's how I always see UK Nats.
Okay.
And I'm playing Zen, so take that how you will.
Should we talk about UK Nats?
Yeah.
Why not? Yeah, because UK Nats.
If you're listening to this, you're about to start, or you're on your way,
or it's finished, and we've all talked nonsense, and you listen to us on the way back. So UK Nats, this would be fun actually if you're listening to this after the UK Nats, just to sort of see how wrong we may be. So give me your predictions. There's been a bit of a chatter because Zen is the hot topic of the season. What do you think the percentage of Zen will be?
Oh, I think 30%.
That's a lot.
Will be Zen. I know.
Why do you think that much?
Because it's being talked about as the best deck and format. And I think that's a reasonable take.
That's a reasonable take.
The best deck and format.
Yeah, it is. I agree with that.
Which means a lot of people will gravitate towards it. It's not actually the most expensive deck in the world. If you manage to get hold, if you don't, this is the thing. Like levels is pretty spendy, but you don't have to run levels.
I think
it's
you do.
Very good. It's very good. But compared to a Flesh and Blood deck, it's not cheap, but it's not crazy. Like I think if you can get the cards, if you can get the L's from Mistveil, I think you're on the way. I think the other thing is that some people will run Zen and they might just run Lynx. Like if it's like a budget consideration. I know this is Nationals, but we've got like 164 player Nationals. Something crazy, isn't it? Like so there's going to be a lot of people that qualify that might not have like necessarily full power.
What is 30% of 164?
It's about 48.
You think? Oh, you know what? Now that you say that, 48 players taking Zen does
40,
not.
Yeah,
that doesn't.
Just shy of 50.
Just shy of 50 people taking Zen. That doesn't actually seem unreasonable.
I'm gonna say I don't think there's that many people in the UK that want to play Ninja.
I don't know.
There's that many people that want to win.
Yeah. Well, okay. No. I think Simon might have a point.
I'd say, maxing out, I'd say 15% Zen. I'd say 28 players.
You're saying 20. You're saying 24 players.
Yeah, I'm saying before. Yeah, between 24 and 28.
You know what? I have to say, like, how many super like hardcore people want to win? Like, I'd say about 20 to 24 people. Like, I don't believe that. Like, we have 50 people try harding their best. Like, do you know?
But I think a lot of people like. I'm thinking back to like. It'd be really interesting if we had the figures of how many people paid Phi at Nats 2, at UK Nats 2, and I think that was around 25% of the field. And I think it'll be higher than that because I don't think Phi was the best deck. Well, I think Phi was a great deck, and Phi won that, George Roger. But I wouldn't have said, if you tell me what's the best deck in format, I wouldn't have necessarily said Phi. But I think that a lot of people pick up Zen because it's very likely to be the best deck in format, and it's not that difficult to play.
It is harder than Phi, but it's not. But you can can you scuff it?
Making a cup of coffee
you can scuff
harder than Phi. Jeez,
I'm gonna Trip. You're gonna.
Can you scuff it? That's a really good question, and I'm like, you can, but you can't scuff it too badly.
Oh, you can.
No, I want to hit Simon. What's your
what's the big scuff you can do in Zen then? Is it ordering your bonds the wrong way around?
Was it maximizing your damage?
Yeah, no, that's not a sequencing.
No. In the world of Ninja, I think that is a scuff.
Wait.
You're dealing 48 damage a turn, and you deal 40.
No,
I disagree.
You've got issues with sequencing and damage, but also you're playing Art of War, and there's not always an easy way to make Art of War work. Like, it is a win more card. If you don't have that tiger to get rid of,
you kind of always do have one though, don't you?
You don't know.
Well, you do, because you have the boots now. So you've always got your... Yeah, you get
3 Art of Wars.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying that's one less to worry about, right? You know your first Art of War, you're probably going to get it off, and it's probably going to be fine. I look. I think we're going down a bit of a.
I genuinely think this is actually quite interesting. You guys,
I would say,
like,
you can. I would so how I would describe a scuff is like you don't shackle, or you. I don't know. You do something dumb in Azalea, and you send your only arrow away, or
like, there are going to be many people forgetting Shuko damage.
There's misplays. Going to be many people, but I would say that as a misplay. But I guess that's fair. Forgetting Shuko, forgetting the resources from 12 petals.
Yeah.
All this stuff is super. Okay, so I'd say that is probably the biggest scuff you can make is if you forgot your resources from 12 petals and you pitched a card.
Don't even talk to me about going and getting a card from bonds that you haven't got left in deck.
Yeah, like
that's a scuff. That's 100% a scuff.
I mean, and when do you chi combo? Like, when's the right sequencing of when do I chi at this point? And Prism players. Yeah, there is actually a window where Prism players can actually play Halo to get their Figment that can put a card into your banish face down. Now, there is actually a window that Zen can get around that, but if you don't know that you've got to play your Chi card in the link step. By the way, just there you go. There's a free pass for you Zen players against Prism. If you don't do that, the Prism player can go, okay, well, I'm going to get my Figment and flip your banish card face down. If you can scuff it, right? Phi is not someone I look at it and go, you just basically play Art of War and then just go 0 for 3, 0 for 4, and then you just go, well, that was a lot. I guess I'll activate my helmet now and deliver the salt the wound. That's not the same thing as linking the combos. I'm not going to say it's hard.
But I thought, Simon, I thought we'd done it. I thought we'd accidentally tricked Hamish into saying that Zen is hard to play.
He is.
It's so close, almost stuck the landing. But,
he is harder. He's harder to play than Fi, but Katsu is harder to play than Zen.
I don't actually think he is.
No,
I think Katsu is easier.
You think Katsu's easier than Zen?
I think we could talk about ceilings, or if we're talking about how easy it is to play your normal game of Flesh and Blood, I think Zen is much easier than Katsu. If you're talking about the levels to which you can go, I'd probably say Katsu's a little bit more. I think has a little bit more depth.
The difference between the two is Katsu requires your attacks to hit to do what you need to do, and there's a certain nuance with how you sequence turns in order to get things to hit when you want them to hit. With Zen, you don't have to worry about anything hitting. You just have to worry about sequencing the cards.
Okay. All right.
And I think some of the stuff going on with the Transcend cards is also pretty interesting too. Anything with instant on it is immediately more interesting and more like, oh, I can do this at this opportunity, or I can respond to somebody else's Transcend.
But it's not about being interesting. It's about maximizing the deck's potential.
Yeah. Damage.
And a lot of the time, what the cards are asking you to do isn't hard. It's about pushing it to the right level.
In the bonds, because you're playing a bond strategy as well. You do actually need to have some kind of awareness of graveyard setup and not just seeing an Art of War and pressing the go button when you've got nothing in your graveyard. So your bonds actually don't do anything. Not that they don't do anything. They probably do something, but it's not as good as it could be if you'd actually taken the time to set some stuff up. So, but anyway, let's talk about other games.
I just think, like we said, there aren't that many people that are going to try hard with Zen when you've already got KO, which is better known and maybe slightly easier.
And an armory deck for people to pick up, and all you need to do is grab a couple of things.
I wouldn't be surprised if there were 30 KO players and 25 Zen players.
I'll hedge with 25%, which is I'll say 40 plus Zen. That'll be my prediction.
Yeah, I'll go with 20%, just because I think there is a middle ground, because I genuinely think that, yes, you're going to get some players that will want to play the best deck in the format. And also the very good players will choose to play the counter. And let's talk about that. And what is the counter? There's Prisms, there's Azaleas. Is Azalea a counter? Possibly. It's not the best, but it is still a good deck. KO's a good deck to pick. And New is
so annoying.
A genuinely nightmare scenario for people that don't want to block. And have we fully fleshed out what New? Now we know the target. And that is Assassin's best potential, is knowing the target, and it's one of the best targets. Someone that doesn't like blocking. So, are we going to see the UK Nats start to move towards actually playing the counter rather than playing the best deck? Because I'm
still shocked. I'm not shocked. I just don't think that there is a consensus that 25% of players will be the same deck. I feel like we've always seen more of a spread.
That's Starvo level. Starvo was clearly the most insane thing on planet Earth.
But we still didn't have 25% of all decks.
In what?
In the big UK events, there weren't 25% Starvos hanging around.
There wasn't Starvo in a UK Nats ever.
No, not in Nats. In the big RTNs and.
Oh no, he I don't know, bro. You need to check that he dominated everything.
Okay,
but I remember Pro Tour, he was close to 40% of the meta. He showed up in spades, absolute spades. But that's because clearly he was insanely the best deck. But
he still didn't win it.
Well, he got to the final. Yeah, sure. Yes, he didn't win it, but clearly he was 4 in the top 8.
I'm not arguing. He was definitely the best deck in format.
And then, US Nats, Briar. Geez, after our nationals performance, I think that turned out to be an insane number of people playing Briar. I agree with you, Simon. I don't believe the numbers are that like insane for Zen. Specifically Zen. I don't believe he is so uncounterable. So answers everything in ever.
I think he's a simple, powerful deck, and I think that will appeal to a lot of players.
Yeah. What do you reckon about Nu though? Do you think Nu will actually show up?
I think Nu will, and I think Nu will do pretty well. I think the trouble is it's not really an issue. I just don't think we saw her really be tested at US Nats, and I'm interested to see if we can see a couple of new players survive the draft, then how it spins out into a day 2 scenario and a top 8 scenario. And I'm very happy to say I don't think we have the answer to that question yet. I think it remains to be tested in the tournament setting. It remains for us to see. And I think we were reading that there was quite a few new players who were doing quite well, and then the draft went badly, and then that was their tournament. Mm-hmm. I think we will see new players make day 2 at UK Nats. I think we might even see a new player in the top 8. And that's when we'll start to see that hero get really tested in the top 8 environment. Can they take down can they act not just as an anti-Zen deck, but can they also take down the other heroes? Can they get around Enigma? Can they get around Prism? These are the questions that I'm not certain. I think again, it's one of the things that we like about KO, we like about Zen, is we feel like they have game into everyone. I even feel like Zen has game into Nu if just things line up and you do something bonkers, right?
Yeah, it's not unreasonable, is it? He can pull it out of everything, and that's probably reaffirming why he is the best deck in the format. It's not because he's insane; it's because he actually, in his worst points, he's better than the worst points of what's the worst thing Nu can see? That would whatever that is in your head. You know how bad that is. Now, what is the worst thing for Zen?
He can definitely...
He could pull it out still.
He can definitely pull tempo at almost any time.
But that's what KO is, and KO really does not get talked about. Like, KO really is not in a bad spot. Like, he's
both Zen and KO have access to these great pivot turns where Zen has a really large amount of equipment, and they can just throw their Shuko. They set up for their big final turn. You do a bit of trading. You feel like it's a really close game. They're on like 13 health. You're on like 8 health. And then you throw your Shuko, you throw your Traverse, you get your Chi, you throw your Boots, you get your Crouching Tiger, you throw your chess piece if you're not going to transcend. You use that to pivot and live, and then you go back with a 7 cards hand. It is a 7 card hand, isn't it? Even saying that sounds weird. If you got your Arsenal, 4 cards in hand, your Chi, and your Crouching Tiger, and then you win the game. And KO can do that too, because KO has all of that equipment. And KO uses all their equipment at the end, does the Blood Rush Bellow turn, and wins the game. And I don't know if Nu can do that. Like, Nu doesn't really have that same level of, I'm going to block up my equipment and I'm going to do my game ending, unless they can do something with their Chi, with their.
I was going to say,
making double use of equipment.
If they've got, if they've got a Chi and they can get a banish zone full of blue cards, then.
No, but what Trip's saying is that actually, if you look at
that blocking ability,
you look at both sides. They're both both Zen and KO have like defensive equipment that also doubles up as an offensive use.
You get your use out of it, and then you roll your scab skins like early games, do a silly turn you might not have been able to do otherwise, and then you cash it in at the end.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about Nu, and I'm thinking about, well, what does Nu do when Nu blocks with all their equipment? What's Nu's best turn? I don't think Nu, apart from potentially using your banished cards against you, which I still don't think they can be that effective against Zen. Maybe like I don't even think about KO. They lack that go again. Unless they can get that go again, it's really tricky for them. They don't do a really big, great turn as a pivot. They just do good disruptive turns and try to chip you down and use. And I'm not a new player, so feel free to comment if you think there's different ways of playing it. But that's my view of it.
It's a different style of gameplay. So I guess maybe just looking at what that equipment does is. Like, we're looking at it wrong. We're trying to pitch it into the aggro tent when it's not even an aggro deck. So, But I think, but maybe ultimately, yeah, the equipment on KO. I mean, KO's got the best equipment in the game. Like, it's not even an argument. Yeah. Like, they've got the best equipment in the game. And
but Zen's got 7 block at the end of the game. If
bro,
you don't,
like, no, KO's got.
I mean, I know. I'm not.
Dumb
I'm saying that people don't think of these ninja decks as being these fridge pivot decks, and they haven't been. You know,
Katsu, wasn't Fi was a bit of a fridge.
Fi was actually pretty good. Yeah, Fi is a good example actually.
Fi had a fridge, and that's what they actually did it over Katsu.
It just shows the power of Traverse and the fact that Traverse is like a Lynx you can block with. And it's better than a Lynx.
To be honest, if you didn't have Traverse, I actually think Zen is like
Yeah,
genuinely reasonable.
Yeah, well, it is better than a Lynx because you can go and get any.
Yeah, it's literally
you block. You get your 2 block.
Yeah, Traverse is wild. Traverse is
absolutely huge. You never get your 2 block from Lynx unless you're losing the game. So
final wrap up, I guess. Like I suppose I'll put the Enigma into the new camp as well. I think Enigma's. Yeah. I think Enigma, like genuinely speaking, I'm playing a lot of Enigma. She's a genuine in toolbox hero. Like I was playing one way of playing it to deal with this sort of matchup, and then you have this aggressive one, and you can go, actually, I'll just swip up and. Yeah. I don't need to play a whole lot of auras. I could just slam with, phantasm attacks, and it's actually like, well, that's what I love about her. And I think we're not done seeing her, her performance yet, because I think she's such a toolbox based hero, more so than I think she's got to be the most toolbox based hero out of all the illusionists. Like she's still playing by their rule set of. Board state.
I'm now going to hear Jukebox Hero every time I see Enigma. I know, Hero. But you know the song Jukebox Hero.
Oh, right, you go. No.
Now, I'm going to have to find that.
Chat, help Simon out here. Help Simon out. Yeah. Okay. I said chat again.
I know. I'm not even going to call it out.
Right, there you go. But I think Enigma,
Enigma is one of the coolest heroes in a game at the moment. Yes. I love that I think they've sort of solved Illusionist in a way that I want, I feel like we give LSS a lot of credit, and I think that's because the game is in a much better state than it was during the Bright Lights and Dusk Till Dawn.
Well, era. we needed a year off, which was last year.
We're a lot more complimentary about the game than we were last year, and I think that's reflected in the fact that the game is being really well designed, and I think that Enigma is a really well designed hero. I think they absolutely knocked it out of the park. I think Zen might be a little bit tuned. That's okay. These aggro decks in Flesh and Blood are always a bit strong, and I think that Nu is a really exciting hero too. And I think they really knocked it out of the park. We're seeing KO. Nu. I remember we'd have sets of Flesh and Blood come out, and we'd just be like, well, none of these heroes we're not going to play any of these heroes because the old heroes were so strong. And I think it's showing how well the Living Legend system is working, because we've naturally moved those really strong heroes out of the game, and it's showing how they don't seem to be as afraid to print these strong heroes now, because they know that these other heroes are gone. They're starting to put a little bit more power back into the game, a little bit more craziness back into the game. I think Brian was saying on the stream, it's like, do you want to play Flesh and Boring, right? Like he wants, it's like, do you want to play Flesh and Blood, or do you want to play Flesh and Boring? It really does feel like we're playing Flesh and Blood at the moment.
Yeah,
the fatigue decks are gone.
Pool as well, really. I mean, there's been a couple of bans over the years, but actually having access to those old cards is pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
We should move on.
Yeah, we should
just talk about the very newest cards, because we've had a couple of spoilers over the US Nats weekend.
Florian, my beloved.
The new set, Rosetta, an all arcane class set, 2 elemental rune blades and 2 elemental wizards.
Yeah,
I'm so happy.
However,
they've
basically just split up Briar and made her into 2
different
great. Rune blades.
Yeah. Earth Rune Blade. I never thought we would get Earth Rune Blade. I genuinely was like, we missed the chance of Briar to be a cool Earth deck with big Briar. Like Simon played it, I played it for a bit. It was such a fun deck. And I was like, we're never going to get
Briar as well.
We're never going to get that back in the game again.
Yeah.
And I was like, because because Aggro Bri was so good, we never really got to explore that. Only remember at the very end where people start playing Crown of Seeds and Bri, we're like, man, this is really good.
Yeah.
And Alex Chitty won.
No, he didn't do that. Yeah, he did it with the standard.
He had the rights replenishment combo for all the fatigue decks, and I'm like, I didn't think we were going to get it again, and I'm really hyped for that. And I really like the design of Florian. I was like, Florian looks great.
Doesn't that sound busted to you? Like, make a huge number of rune chants or embodiments of Earth. Like, now you can just go.
I actually don't. So, okay. So when you think about it, when they said, I never thought they would, and then you kind of look at it and go, I don't know why we thought that was a hard thing to do, because it is literally just went. They just went Earth, lightning. There's one of each, and you're like, yeah, of course.
But I just thought that they would print another Guardian, and I thought that it would be a Guardian. I thought it would be like an Earth Guardian and a Lightning Rune Blade.
They just sort of filtered it down a little bit and went, rather than one hero having two, we'll just put two heroes, one each.
I got a question for you, Hamish, though.
What?
Are you going to get the full set of rune chants tattooed on you now?
Oh, the other ones.
There's a lightning rune chant and an earth rune chant, and they've all got different artwork.
They're a bit hippie. I don't know if it's your style, mate, to be honest.
I'll wait for.
You've seen them, though?
I have. Yeah. I was actually like, that's a pretty cool idea. But the
lightning rune one.
I'm not gonna lie.
I love the
James White, you're not gonna hear this. You're not gonna listen to this, right? But if you've got but you might. If there is, it is 6 minutes in. He's definitely not listening. So, if there is a necromancer sort of symbolism card, like you did with Frostex, like you did with Runechamp, if there's some necromancer thing, right? This is like some sort of wild fantasy I've got. Send me what you want that design is. I don't know what it means, but you know it's metal. I'll tattoo that on me, and then just like you did with Jacob, whatever his.
And then they'll release
the card,
and it'll be like Dickhead Anonymous, like name of the card,
and
then the little law text will be like lol LaMayo James White.
Yes, that. But
I would love
as
that.
long as it looks metal, I don't care.
Simon, we need to set up some kind of fake James White email account ASAP, and we can.
Well, I've got his email, so
get Hamish to tattoo some random bollocks.
Anyway, not to detract it far too much. Yes, so I have to say that I agree with you, Trip. The Earth one looks really, really cool. The Lightning one, I'm really sorry.
Did anyone think?
I didn't like. I don't. I'm like that. Nah.
Did anyone think
nothing about it?
Go again on a hero card again?
Well, they have. Well, they kind of have.
It's even better, right? Because you can potentially you make a lightning on their turn, and then you start a turn and go again, and you make another lightning on your turn, and that gets go again.
No. You can only make
to have played a lightning card.
Oh well.
Oh no, there's there's lightning instant cards, Simon.
That's interesting. Okay, so it's not as good as I thought then. I forgot about that bit, but it's still cool.
No, cool. You're probably not going to do that, right? Because you're not going to. You could. But she seems straight up like I already know what this is going to be.
She seems a bit one note.
Well, it's aggro.
You play a lightning non-attack. You make a lightning. And then,
No, but I think she's actually going to be probably the go wide split of Runeblade, because they're both going to be throwing arcane damage, right? Let's not beat around the bush. They are going to be throwing like those 1 points of arcane damage at you. There is those elemental Runeblade cards that like what's that card called again? It's that one that says I deal 1 arcane damage, and then whenever you do an arcane damage, it will deal that much +1.
Sting of Sorcery.
No. It's like a non-attack, and it's like stays on the board.
The fuse one.
Yeah, the fuse one. Something like that, where it's going to be like power, like loads and loads of damage coming on both ends, and it's going to be just one big bolt of damage, basically.
You just reminded me that Bramble Spark is a card. Oh my god!
Oh, it is a card.
Bramble Sparks. Yeah, all that.
Love Bramble Spark.
Yeah, and that's
Elemental Runeblade fusion. Let's go.
Okay, guys, seriously, the putting in that card that goes.
Look, he's already brewing a deck.
What was it? Is it non-attack?
9 Bramble Sparks, 9 Morph Skies, all the big attacks. Rosetta Thorn, because they're going to reprint it. I don't care.
No, they were not.
Back at the end.
If they reprint Rosetta Thorn, I'll eat.
Reaping Blade, now good, because these wizards want to gain life for some reason.
I want to know what Florian's sword is here. This looks badass. Like,
yeah, I actually think I think I'm gonna like him because he's gonna look pretty metal. Right, so
he looks more. Okay. I would say he looks more emo than metal.
Let's move on to wizards. There's not much to say.
We don't know what they do yet, do we?
No, but it is. No, what's your thoughts on an elemental earth wizard and lightning wizard?
I think the lightning wizard is very thematic.
Yeah.
I also like the fact that the lightning wizard appears to literally be some kind of elemental mecha.
Yeah, it does,
which is very cool.
I've seen a lot of League of Legends references that it looks exact. I will say, the aesthetics of the lightning heroes look the most. To criticize a bit, it looks incredibly generic. Like
Aurora does look like a
League of Legends hero.
Yeah,
something a mobile app would make.
No, but there's quite a consistent theming. Like this is Lexi, right? This is the wizard version of Lexi.
No, Lexi did look a little. I was like, no, okay, Lexi looks pretty good. I'm not going to turn around and say that. Look at like Flesh and Blood is pulling the stops because
it's lightning. It's well themed.
No,
I think it's well themed.
I don't know.
And the Earth ones are just as generic. Like
I like
that. Oh, go on, Trent.
I just think these characters lend themselves to these archetypes because they're elemental wizards. They've been done a lot in fantasy. Like, I know they're rune blades, but they're basically elemental wizards, right? They're all kind of wizardy, magical people, and there's a very like long canon of like cliched looks for how those sort of characters will be. Like, you've got the fast lightning person, and you've got the like hippie earth person, and like it kind of lends into that. I personally quite like the design. I don't think they go.
They're not pushing the boat.
They're not Olympia, but also
no.
Can I just take a moment? I kind of I think when Olympia came out, I was pretty down on Olympia, and I was like, this is the most generic hero. But over time, I kind of love how dumb it is, like how it's just literally a Roman guy, and like we just sort of moved on from Olympia, and he's just still there, and part of me just really likes him now because he's just a guy with a sword.
Yeah, but you don't like him for the right. But Trip, you don't like him for the right reasons.
I know, but I kind of do now. Right. I just love how generic. He's just like, normal dude. He's like the normal dude of Flesh and Blood. And I just love that about him. Yeah, he's just literally sword guy.
I'm sword guy.
Yeah.
Can I just say, I'm just throwing some speculation out there for Verdance, because she's, as Tripp has already said, she's like the hippie Earth Mother wizard lady. But her specialization is gain 1 life, gain 1 life, gain 1 life. Do we feel that her hero ability may link life gain to amp?
I think that's a cold take.
A cold?
Is that
that's pretty cold?
That been overnight?
Well, no. I think it's a cold. I mean, to be honest, you've got a specialization. The specializations tend to go. The thing you want to do is exactly what you want to do to the best of its ability. Most majestic specializations say, like I just said, what you want to do, pushed.
I'm just putting it out there.
So she wants to gain health.
If you agree, that's great. Thanks very much.
No, yes. She's going to say something that goes, if I gain health, probably, I don't know, deal 1 arcane damage or something. I don't know.
I think it will be, this is my prediction, every time you gain health, add a counter to, this will be the weapon. Every time you gain health, add a counter to this weapon, and then you can spend those counters to play non-attacks at instant speed.
Kind of like Blaze, basically.
But it won't be the amount of life gain. So if you played a Sigil, you'd only gain 1 counter, but this card you'd gain 3 counters because it's 3 instances.
Okay, no, I think
a bit like Blaze. Yeah,
a bit like Blaze. It
could be a hero. Yeah.
I don't think it's a. I don't think that's the weapon. I think that's the hero ability because the card and hero ability has to.
Yeah,
sense.
I forgot we haven't seen the hero ability,
No,
so it'll definitely be the hero ability, not the weapon. So.
Yeah, so I think genuinely speaking, maybe 1 health. You're exactly right. Stuff. The cards you play, it doesn't matter how much health you're gaining.
Yeah.
That you gain health equals thing. Thing is arcane. Yeah, thing makes you be able to play action cards, do arcane. It's arcane or action cards.
So this one card would gain you 3 resources. Well, it would allow you to pay a 3-cost non-attack action at instant speed or something like that.
Something like that. And I think that's she'll sit there and go, I won't block. But I'll heal.
Also, those counters will be the named counters that you put on Find Our Spring Tunic, and you'll be able to spend the counter on your Find Our Spring Tunic to do that effect. So it'll be spend. I can't remember what it's called. It does have a name. I'm not going to get Find Our Spring Tunic up, but it has a specific name for that counter. No, it has a name.
Oh, it has a name. Oh my god!
Because there's a card that says remove. It removed this type of
Come
counter,
on, Simon. You got to know.
And it will be that counter. So you will accumulate that counter. So you'd be able to spend your tunic to gain...
It's just an energy counter.
Is it
an energy counter? It will be an energy counter. It will be energy counter.
Okay.
Spend energy counters to do X, something. That's my prediction.
Okay, and to finalise Robot Boy, I don't know his name.
Zephyr. What's his specialization?
I'll call him Zephyr because that's the
they haven't given a specialization.
No, but what's his name?
Lightning Valley. Ocilio
is like ideal arcane damage. I draw a card. I'll chain. I'm just gonna chain lots.
Do you think he's gonna be that?
He's gonna be the aggro chain. I think the easiest way to kind of look at it is, and
I've got a really good idea for this guy.
Fair enough, but I think I want to hear it.
I'm going to tell you.
Let's not. You look at the elemental heroes that are attached to you. Lightning is lightning, bro. I mean, you look at all the lightning cards. They're telling you to play this type of way. You play that type of way. He is lightning. He's not even mixed. So just do what the lightning cards are telling you, and they're all aggressive cards.
Draw a card, yeah.
Do it. Anyway,
come on then, Trip. What is it?
Predictions.
Okay. This might not work, but I think it
Good start.
Wait, I'm not sure this will work. Do I have my embodiments of lightning? I'm trying to remember what they are.
The next...
Yeah, I actually do.
Is it the next attack action card you play gains go again? Yes.
Yeah, it's an elemental token, so... Yeah. What I was going to say is I think if you deal arcane damage to a hero, add a token to your hand, and that token is literally a blank card with just the word lightning on it. So you can then lightning fuse anything in your hand.
Oh.
So you deal arcane damage, you add to your hand a lightning token.
Like an ephemeral token.
Yeah.
An ephemeral lightning token.
Yeah. And I think it will be, you can create these tokens and you'll be able to spend them on something. But it will be like, an ephemeral lightning token that after you fuse, you throw away. So you deal arcane damage and then you can fuse something.
But you can't use it to channel lightning.
No, you can't pitch it.
No.
It's literally just refusing.
That would Trip. I like that a lot because that way you actually make a deck that's not full of lightning cards, and then you actually have to play stuff to create a lightning card to. Bro, that's actually sick.
It could be simpler. That's literally just like if you've dealt arcane damage this turn, your elemental cards are fused. Like he creates the lightning because he is made of lightning.
Yeah.
So if he deals arcane damage, then suddenly all of your elemental cards in hand don't need to be fused. They are considered fused. That would be the other one.
Okay, yeah.
I think that'd be fun.
That'd be fun because the lightning keywords are very attack heavy, and that's a wizard style. He could, interesting enough, which I don't think you should, because there is a Runeblade hero, which is arcane and physical damage. You could play some physical attacks in this dude because
basically I don't think he will make embodiments of lightning. I think
no, that's very true.
My cold So I'm
I
ready.
can't wait to get my cold foils out again. Yes.
And I've got my.
The embodiment of Earths. I actually do think the embodiment of Earths will be something that the Earth wizard will tap into, because she'll go, I'm going to do some arcane damage, I'm going to heal, and then I will block with this one card for 5, because they're all action cards. Now, attack action cards.
I do want to wrap up in a
minute.
This has been a good one.
Oh, I like this one. I haven't even opened my second beer.
There's so much to talk about there.
There is.
I think we touched on it earlier, but I really do think Fab is in such a good spot at the moment. Like, I think Heavy Hitters was great. I think Mysteria has been great, and I hate to say it even at this stage, I just think Rosetta is going to be great, because come on.
Did anyone else hear, I want to touch on this before we finish.
Yeah.
Did anyone else hear Brian say that the adult hero would have different text to the
Yes, I did hear that. And
Florian, yeah.
So I think it's not going to be too far removed. And I think the Florian one, and I think the best, I think this is the best example of what it is the 4 cards in Banish is a very low floor for an adult hero.
Maybe 6 or 8.
Yeah, I think it's basically
just double it.
You need more. But it's still the same.
I agree.
But you just need more.
Yeah.
So I think it's not, I don't think it's a complete rework of the hero.
Yeah.
It's just
especially if
more.
Is it called compost or decomposed?
Compost.
It should be called compost. Anyway,
wait.
Gardener's Corner.
Oh my god!
Gardener's Corner.
Compost. It could literally could be called compost.
We can have Gardener's Corner with Florian. Yes.
Florian, what are you growing to do?
Cabbages.
And there's some interesting things. Someone's died. If you actually see the flavor text of that, of the one that says decomposition.
The monarch. Yeah.
With her fall, the ancient enchantment begins to fade, and the rotwood stirs once more.
So I think that Florian is because there was a queen, wasn't there, that Briar had to speak to before she buggered off.
Yeah, and the card is called Felling of the Crown.
Yeah, so I think the Florian is a bad. He's like the. Well, he's autumn, isn't he? He's the beginning of the cycle of the trees and everything has finished their spring and summer. It's now time for the autumn and winter. So I think he's the guy that has to kill off the queen.
I'm going to break out my Stir the Wildwoods as well.
There you go.
Yeah.
This set is like so like I think it's our nostalgia of Tales of Aria, isn't it? It's like this set. It's all coming in.
I can't wait for people to get to play Runeblade as well, because we've got a lot of heroes that have probably got into the game and never really experienced Briar and Heyday.
I cannot wait to pick up some more Runeblade Coalfall weapons and get them graded.
And get your Reaping Blades.
With PCG UK.
UK.
Genuinely. They're very good.
Gents. It's
been a pleasure.
I've really enjoyed that.
Yes.
Everyone, good luck. If you're listening to this before Nationals, if you're playing in UK Nationals or whatever Nationals you're playing, best of luck. And if you're listening to this afterwards, I hope it went well. And we'll be back very soon with another episode.
See you later.
Just keep making them.
Love you, bye.
Love you, bye.
Love you, bye.